Let me do that shit again.
So I'm going to do a reaction about this chick who lost her virginity with 3 guys in one night. But before I continue, please like and subscribe. Without further ado.
So I posted this video about 5 days ago and 7.5 million of you fuckers saw this shit. I kid you not. I did not post this with the intent of this blowing up. Like, my account is like a personal account, like just for me and my friends. So when I woke up the next morning and saw that I had over 1 million views, I was like, what the absolute fuck?
You cannot be serious!
But because so many of you guys are asking for story time, I guess I have to give the people what they want. So here's the story time. Disclaimer, if you were here to give me hate, please go fuck off. Go somewhere else where, like, my life doesn't affect you. So I don't know why you little fucking incels are getting so mad at me for having a good time. This was all consensual. I had a great time. I don't see anything wrong with what happened. No, it's not embarrassing. If anything, it's a girl boss moment. Thank you for all those positive comments. And for those of you who have left hate on my page, I hope you have a horrible life. And for you fucking so-called trauma therapists, whatever the fuck you guys call, I do not have trauma because of this fucking night. You guys don't know anything about my personal life, and I don't know why people are going on and like assuming all of these things that like happened to me. It's not your place. It is really not. So get out of here. Alrighty, moving on now. I'm definitely gonna have to do this in a couple parts, but here it is. So this was my senior year of high school, so about 2 years ago. It was around Halloween time, so literally like almost 2 years ago today. But, you know, Halloween weekend, like me and my friends, you know, we're going out to parties and stuff. We ended up meeting this guy at like a Pizza My Heart, just like randomly. All like the high school kids go there. And we met this guy who was like dressed as a pimp. That's Ian. We ended up all like taking a picture with him. Like, we added it on Snap. Like, turns out I already had him on Snapchat because like we're mutual friends with people. So, but anyways, we went to a party that night. Like, things were good. It was fun. Like, I thought he was cute, but like didn't think anything of it. And then the next day he invited me to a party and I went with him and his friend. You know, like, we were drinking, having a grand old time. The cops come to the party, so we leave, and then we were gonna go to his friend's kickback. On the way there, you know, do a couple donuts in a nearby parking lot, you know the vibe. And then his friend wasn't home yet, so we were just like waiting in this like random ass parking lot. And one thing led to another, and you know, we ended up making out, and then things like went on from there. And then like I knew that you know, we were gonna have sex, and I was like, I let him know that like I was a virgin or whatever, and like, you know, he was like really cool about it, like whatever. So yeah, we did the deed, and that was that, you know. We put our clothes on, and then by then his friend was home, so we went to his friend's kickback. Next part will be in part 2.
Oh, this is so stupid. First of all, if you didn't care for people's opinion, then why are you sharing? Does it make sense? It does not. We live in a social media era with all these electronic platforms, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. All of these you can use for social currency, which in turn you can monetize. So you have gained 8.6 million followers. That's money in your coffins. Trust me, you know what you're doing. Don't be stupid. Then the next thing is how you met a random guy and you hooked up in the car. It's strange nowadays that females are far more promiscuous than men. Like, random. Seriously, you see what I mean? Random. And the next thing I'm going to talk about is it looked like a pimp. That shows you that females have a particular type of guys they are attracted to, that alpha bad guy. So let's deal with this guy right now. Wow, it was fun. You enjoyed yourself in the back of a car. Does it matter who would have seen you? What would happen? It's everywhere. Just get your freak on. It doesn't matter. Oh boy, if times have changed.
Alrighty, so then we get to his friend's kickback. There's a whole bunch of people there who like I don't really know, but they're all of Ian's friends. And then the guy's kickback it was, who was like Ian's like one of his like close friends, so like best friend, I guess. I'm gonna call him Kevin. So we're all chilling, some people are drinking, I'm not. And then I look over to the right of me and I see Ian, and then there's this girl. This girl is like all over Ian. Like, she cannot keep her hands off of him, and like she's being really flirty and like really touchy, and like I could kind of see that like Ian was a little bit uncomfortable, probably by the fact that like I was there like staring at him like literally like, what the fuck, bro, you know, like you just had sex with me. But again, like it wasn't my place, like he could do like whatever he wanted, so like, you know, it's fine. But anyways, the night goes on, we end up playing Truth or Dare, and then someone asks Kevin, you know, Truth or Dare, and he says truth. And then his buddy says, alright, if you could fuck anyone in the room, who would it be? And like the room just kind of goes silent, and I'm like, I don't know any of these people, so I'm like, okay, like, you know, I'm not gonna get chosen, like the fuck. And then he looked me dead in the eyes, and he was like, her. And I was like, okay, like, and everyone was like freaking out, doing their thing, and then I don't even remember how this happened, but someone said like, what are you gonna do about it, Kevin? And he was like, okay, like, and then he just picked me up, brought me to the bedroom, and you know, one thing led to another, and we hooked up. And like this time, like it was good. Like I kind of like knew what I was doing now, because you know I had that, you know, 30 minutes before, like I knew I just did that, like, you know, it came easy. Also, I used a condom with both Ian and Kevin, so, you know, stay safe, kids, okay? But anyways, so, like, you know, that was good, and then he was like, you know, you can sleep over, like, that was the plan anyway, for me to sleep over. But I didn't know that, you know, I would fuck both Ian and, you know, Kevin. And I kind of was like, I don't want them to, like, find out that I fucked both of them, because, you know, Ian didn't know what happened in the bedroom. Kevin didn't know that I fucked Ian, like, right before that. So I didn't really want to deal with that. So me and my ex my ex from sophomore year of high school, and this is senior year, so like we were still like exes or whatever. We were like friends then, and we started like kind of like talking again or whatever. And so I called him and I was like, hey, can you pick me up? Like I need to go pick up my car anyway, because I left it in a parking lot and my car would have got towed. So I go pick up my car and to sleep in my car, because I didn't really have anywhere to go. But my ex was like, no, like just come over, like spend the night here, I'll like sneak you in his house or whatever. So he snuck me in his house with his parents home, so that was kind of scary, like doing that. I never did that before. The rest will be in part 3.
You notice the he's at which she now speaks about, oh, it's the second time, like, I know what I'm doing now. That tells you something about modern day westernized women. They don't play around in fooling around. It's like child's play to them, okay? And then you wonder why men start to mistrust women. The thing is, she carries on to say, hey, she doesn't want Ian to find out that she slept with Kevin, and then Kevin slept with Ian. At the end of the day, the guys were like, yo, bro, I digged her out too. And they would laugh about it. In men's eyes, like these guys, they're like probably the alpha type E, the masculine type, whatever. Make no mistake, to them, you're just a notch on the belt, okay? To them, you're just another Jezebel, another wild side chick everybody ran through. Okay, you have now set a reputation. I guarantee you, to those guys, highs, they're gonna say, yo, bro, that chick over there, yeah, go get it. Then she's still sneaky about it. She's still trying to be sneaky, and females, I don't know if guys realize, females are sneaky. Nowadays, I'll say this. If a woman says, oh, I've never slept with one guy, I've never slept more than 2 guys, I'm still a virgin, it's kind of distrustful now. You kind of have to take it like, I don't know about that, that's not true. Then on top of it, she's going to call her ex-boyfriend. Now, you can see that's the simp. Why are you still friends with a girl that didn't want to be with you in the first place? Okay? Does it make sense? You're going to hear the rest of the part 3. You're going to hear the rest of the story, and it's going to amaze you as it relates to this other high school boyfriend to help her out of trouble. She didn't ask the 2 guys she messed with. She asked the simp guy, the nice guy. Okay?
Alrighty, so this is part 3 of the story time of how I lost my virginity. So, you know, I'm at my ex's house, and we always talked about, like, oh, like, what if, like, you know, he took my virginity, because, you know, I was still a virgin, like, my senior year, we never, like, did anything when I was a sophomore. So, like, in his mind, like, I was still a virgin. Because I don't remember telling him when he picked me up that I might have told him, like, beforehand. I do not remember. And I tried to call him to ask. But, he's a little upset at me at the moment, so. But anyways, we ended up doing the deed. By the way, it was dark outside, when we started. By the time we were finished, it was, like, fully daytime. I do not even know how many hours this lasted, but it was a grand old time, I must say. Because, you know, like, this was number 3. Like, I was getting the hang of this. Like, I knew what the fuck I was doing. But anyways, that happened. Then we ended up going, like, back to sleep. I think we, like, slept till, like, hella late. But anyways, then we, like, woke up, and then we got breakfast burritos, at this place. And then we were sitting, eating in the car, and then, you know, he was, like, had a smirk on his face, and I was like, what? And he was like, took your virginity. And I was like, no, you didn't, sir. And, like, the look on his face, he was, like, in shock, like, what the fuck? He was like, we talked about this, like, 2 days ago, like, what do you mean you're not? And I explained, like, what happened. Like, I just said, like, oh, like, you know, like, the person's house, like, you picked me up from, like, I had sex with him. And he was, like, distraught. He was like, you're a fucking whore. Like, fuck you, you're dirty. Like, you could have at least showered. Like, all of this shit. And I was like, first of all, sir, you snuck me into your house, like, with your parents home. Like, what made you think I could have, like, showered there, too, without, like, waking your parents up? Like, the fuck? But anyways, you know, he got over the fact he's an asshole, like, you know, that's also just, like, we're just assholes to each other, so he always calls me a whore. I don't really give a fuck, honestly. So yeah, that is what happened, basically. And then the other day, like, that when I made that TikTok, like, it just reminded me of, like, what happened. So I decided to text my ex, and I'll pull up the receipts right now of what he said. So basically, I just decided to tell him, like, the whole truth, because, like, I told him the truth, like, I did, like, fuck someone beforehand, but I didn't tell him 2 people. But I basically told him that, you know, the time that we fucked, like, it was actually 2 people before you, not 1. I just woke up and chose violence, honestly. But this is why he's upset at me at the moment. But this is our conversation that we had. I like the never talk to me again at that point. But yeah, that's basically the whole story. Don't give me hate, okay? I had a great time.
So guys, don't be your ex. Someone is your ex for a reason because it didn't work out. If they wanted to make it work out, it would have worked out. Okay? Don't be this guy a nice guy. He's what you typically call a white knight. He's the one she called to come what? Come and rescue her to get her car. She didn't ask Ian or Kevin because those are the bad guys. I've been in that situation. I've realized this. When a female, and even a male, when they like a particular person, they don't have to do anything. That guy has to do nothing. Not to spend his money, it's yours. And I tell you, this nice guy, he was right. To him, in his mind, this girl is garbage because you're just like another woman. Your value has been decreased. You have been stepped around, so why am I messing with you? You're dirty. You get what I'm saying? Men don't care about, you know, that idea that they sleep around. It's seen as a big prop experience. Women would be attracted to that, quite frankly. But not with females sleeping around because, number one, you don't peer bond very well after a while. Number 2, you're going to cheat. Because you're always going to look on the previous part and to say which was better and so forth. You're always comparing the other guy. Before, alright? This sophomore guy that was a nice guy, he's probably going to learn this, take this as a lesson, and probably become a alpha guy, a jerk. I kid you not. And this chick, she's the one that, you know, they're so used to manipulation. They're so used to being the pump and dump. Don't worry, 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, probably when she has a kid or don't have any kid, she's the same one who's going to say, where are all the good guys? Because what? We no longer want you. You have been ran through and all that. You know, guys don't like women like that because you're just unclean. You're just for everybody's use. I don't want that. Yeah, I could use scar. Why? I don't want that. All right, guys. here's a catch. Not all females are like this, but do your due diligence. Search her social media, check them out. Seriously, even before you get married, don't cohabitate like this chick. You don't cohabitate with her. She's not that type. All right, she's a user. She's a user. I can tell you, she's a user. So guess what? That's my 2 cents. Until then, please like and subscribe. Leave your comments. Peace.